we had the full. I assume you watched the game. I watched the game yesterday. I would say that this is one of those games where, with the Giants, we had the full spectrum of emotions. Because in the
Yeah.
beginning of the game, they were hanging in. The defense was held to the Bills to 0 points for the whole first half. They were up 6-0 at the half, and I'm thinking, well, it's only one possession, but they're in the lead. Maybe we got a shot. Maybe they're gonna pull this game out. And then the second half was the typical Giants, just that sound, that womp womp that you hear in your head.
Yes.
That was, it was the full spectrum. It was like, oh, maybe we got a shot.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
That was it. That was my technical in-depth summary of the game yesterday. Mike, what did you think?
I slept through most of the game. As you
As
know,
one should these days.
Yeah, I was babysitting my nephew all day, and then when I got home, when you babysit, babysitting wasn't hard, but when you drive somewhere for an extended period of time, and all you're doing is sitting in the car driving. When you get home, you're exhausted, and you're like, "Why am I so tired?" It's because with a baby and with driving, you have to be alert at all times. You're in total alert. There's no break. He only
it's survival
takes
mode.
5 to 10 minute naps. So when I got home, I tried to put the game on. I listened to it on the phone, like the radio, like you did. And I honestly hate listening to Giants games when Carl Banks is mad, because he's so honest and it just brings my mood down. And he's like, he's not even being a broadcaster anymore. He's like, this is just terrible. And this thing is, I'm like, I can't listen to this. It's making me depressed. I fell asleep and I kept kind of waking up going, oh, we might record something. And then I saw that it was a 7-6 game for most of the game. Like, it's garbage.
I was fully prepared to do, if they pulled it out last night, to do a very late night recording with just you and me, Mike. But then when they lost, I'm like, oh, fuck this. They can wait another day. If they're going to wait another week or two to win, they can wait one day for me to talk about them for 12 people on the internet.
Exactly.
That makes me want to listen to it. By the way, Carl Banks used to grow up. Well, he didn't grow up. He lived. His son grew up, and he lived in the town in New Jersey that I'm from.
Really?
And and there was a dad that used to always complain about pickup basketball games and always fight with the opposing team.
Right.
And Carl Banks was on the opposing team one time, and this dad who I think his son hit Carl Banks' son, and Carl Banks made a whole thing about it. And this psycho threatened Carl Banks. It was like, I'll step outside right now. I don't care. That's
just New Jersey.
People
are.
That
is Jersey.
Yeah. That's just pure New Jersey.
They have no sense to not fight a professional football player. That is just an angry father who will fight.
What was Carl Banks' reaction? He just looked at him like, "Really, dude? Really?"
I think parents actually talked the father out of it, because Carl Banks was just exactly. He was like, "Really? You're gonna try to fight me right now?"
Come on, dude. I can literally put you through the fucking wall right now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't fight.
Dude, that's a Super Bowl ring. He would have just fucking taken that ring, just made a dent in his fucking head.
I wouldn't fight old Carl Banks. I wouldn't. And it's probably a Giants fan who wanted to fight him too. There's
more
no
than
shame.
likely. It would have been funnier if it was an Eagles fan. That would have been very funny.
Yeah.
So I want to ask a Giants-related question, because we mentioned on the show, I think maybe you mentioned on the show a few weeks ago, Mike, that the running back position gets disrespected league-wide. Now, last night, of course, if you're a Giants fan, you know that Saquon came back. He played pretty good, actually. So let me ask you, from our general perspective, has he earned the title of irreplaceable? Or is he just an above-average running back, you think, and they're going to try to trade him or get something back for him or get somebody else? Because I think he's really good, personally. So where do you stand on that, Mike?
He's good. He's a good guy. Really good class act guy. Really good running back. He'll be gone by the end of the season, probably. From what I'm hearing on the radio, it sounds like he'll be gone. There's too many injuries.
Depends what they get back for. I mean, that's the thing, though. When he's on the field, he's dynamic as fuck.
Yeah.
He just is, man.
He's good,
but I mean, he gives the defense a whole extra layer to worry about. Even with the backup. They're playing with the backup yesterday, and he was still a factor. That's how, again, this is...
Now, what does that say?
That's all I'm saying.
So that's interesting, because what does that say about their offensive line? If their running back can still get mileage, with a bad offensive line, why can't the quarterbacks? And this is both quarterbacks now who had no offense, really in this game.
Yeah.
And I was really hoping, because I'm so cynical, that Tyrod Taylor would get throw for 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards, and it'd just be unbelievable. And
He's
then
got good rhythm.
Yeah.
I like Taylor's rhythm. I think he's got really good rhythm, especially for a backup. He's fun to watch. He really is.
Yeah, I think I was surprised he was the backup when they got. I thought he would have been starting somewhere, at least at this point in his career. But we're in this Daniel Jones QB situation now with a bad offensive line. And again, I still go back to my point of, yes, the offensive line is bad. It's not fair to Daniel Jones. It's why he got hurt, obviously. But if he was that great of a quarterback, he would be able to make things happen. And now we're seeing Saquon play well. I guess you do need the two of those together. It's just the whole damn.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Daniel Jones as a person. I just don't understand when people claim how great he is. He's a scrambling quarterback. He can't evade the rush, which is weird. And he can't throw touchdowns. And he's got weapons now, and he still can't do it. And it's like, oh, it's the offensive line. It's him.
I like that he's a better looking version of Eli Manning, though.
Yeah, that is true.
He's a less inbred looking version of Eli Manning. I'm pretty sure that inbreeding that probably happened in the Manning family is why they're so good. It's just
you're only allowed to breed with your cousins who are also tall. You have to have a certain D1 DNA pattern, or you're not gonna you don't get to fuck in this family.
Yeah, Archie Manning bred them in a lab at the University of Tennessee.
Grew them out of algae.
I like how Brian rates his NFL players. I'm like, well, they're good if they can throw touchdowns, but do I want to smash? It's like just as important with Brian. I respect that.
Yeah. It's a separate rating, obviously. I wouldn't smash Mahomes, even though I think he's my favorite quarterback. In the league.
His arm's a 9, but his face a 3, but his butt's a 10. Is that where we're at?
That's even. You're being even more generous than me on that rating, Phil.
One day we're gonna do a thing on the show when we get really bored, when we have nothing to talk about, where Mike and I try to pick out hot athletes that Brian would like, because we're both straight dudes. When a guy is good looking, but you can't really tell if he's smashable. You know what I mean? We're gonna try with our it's gonna be the blind leading the blind. It's gonna be very funny.
Yeah,
I promise.
I'm surprised about Mahomes. Yeah, I don't know. I figured. I don't know. I thought Mahomes is decent looking, but I don't know.
You have terrible taste in men, Mike.
Okay.
In me? Or
I guess
me or Mike?
No, me. I guess that's good. I don't know. Good or bad. It's not good or bad. I don't know what that means. Yeah. But I get it.
All right.
Yeah,
it's awkward. People